I had the worst kiss. After 45 years, Sally Field reveals the horrifying Smokey and the Bandit reality. She almost rejected the poor script and Burt Reynolds' secret drug use. Field explains what happened on the 1977 classic set and, most surprising, why she didn't speak to Reynolds for 30 years. Details, please. Born November 6, 1946, in Pasadena, California, Sally Field. Two worlds shaped her childhood. Margaret Field, Sally's mother, was a Paramount Pictures actress, introducing her to Hollywood glamour. Army officer Richard Drayton Field, her father, added discipline and organization. Sally was strong and resilient because to glamour and order. When Sally was 4, her parents split. Her life was haunted by the trauma. Her mother later married stuntman and actor Jock Mahoney in 1952. This marriage made Sally's life darker, not happier. In her 2018 memoir, In Pieces, Sally reveals that Mahoney exploited her as a teenager. This secret impacted her worldview and self-image for decades. In spite of home sorrow, Sally escaped. She spent a lot of time on film sets with her mother, watching Hollywood magic. This made her love performing and storytelling. Sally used acting to express herself and escape her stressful home life at school. She discovered her talent for acting at Portola Middle School and Birmingham High School in Van Nuys. Acting became more than what she liked. It helped her cope with life. Sally attended a high school party at 17 that altered her life. She was recommended to audition for a Columbia Studios acting workshop by a talent agency. This modest idea sparked something tremendous. For 8 weeks, Sally worked hard in the workshop, mastering acting with other youthful talent. Though challenging, the program helped her grow. She impressed casting director Marcia Levy, who was casting new TV series actors. Sally was notable for her charisma and emotional depth. In 1965, Sally played Gidget, her first major role. Southern California surfer chick Frances Gidget Lawrence was the subject of this TV episode. Despite being 18, Sally defeated 75 other actresses for the job. Her vibrant performance made Gidget approachable and lovable, especially for teens. While lively and original, the show stopped after one season after premiering in September 1965. Final episode airing April 1966. Many expected Sally's career would end early, yet something unforeseen happened. During the summer, teens loved Gidget reruns. Sally became a star and proved she could connect with people after this unexpected triumph. ABC sought Sally's next project after Gidget. She starred in The Flying Nun that way. This odd comedy, which began on September 7, 1967, starred Sally as Sister Burt Reynolds, a young nun who could fly because to her lightweight and big cornet. The premise seemed odd, but Sally's warmth and charm made Sister Burt Reynolds popular. 3 seasons and 82 episodes made the show a cultural smash. Sally struggled behind the scenes. The Flying Nun wasn't her favorite project, she said. She despised it. When she was in her mid-20s in the early 1970s, she aspired to play complex roles. It upset her that Hollywood kept casting her in charming, innocent parts. For Stay Hungry in 1972, took a tremendous risk by going topless. This surprised her fans and industry peers. The move failed to illustrate she could play multiple characters, which she sought. It wasn't widely released and didn't change her image. Field took another gamble after feeling trapped. From 1973 to 1976, she refused sitcom roles. This may have terminated her career, but she wanted to shed her clean image. She trained with Lee Strasberg at the Actors Studio in Los Angeles. Long days of practice and auditions were her focus. Her career frustration made her consider quitting acting. She added, "I could waitress or do anything else," in a 1976 interview. "I couldn't stick with that delectable vision forever." She triumphed in 1976, but the struggle left her scarred. In her 2018 memoir In Pieces, Field said she struggled with depression and an eating issue. She kept on despite immense demand to remake herself. Her Stay Hungry role was crucial. The bodybuilding comedic drama was directed by Bob Rafelson. Jennifer Field plays gym receptionist Mary Tate, who falls for Jeff Bridges' rich Craig Blake. The scene where Field emerged partially nude shocked onlookers. "The nudity made her nervous," she said. "I'd never done anything like that, and I wasn't sure I could." A strict diet and workout plan helped her lose 10 pounds to look the part. The movie also included Arnold Schwarzenegger's first big role. Field said she loved his passion as Joe Santo, a bodybuilder, despite his inexperience. However, Stay Hungry only grossed $5 million in April 1976. Critics applauded Field's performance as the picture garnered a cult following. Even Roger Ebert called her vulnerable and touching. The film awarded Schwarzenegger a Golden Globe for New Star of the Year, launching his acting career. Her most significant role came in the TV miniseries Sybil later that year. After horrific childhood trauma, a woman with dissociative identity disorder was the focus of the true story. Field had to play 13 personalities, making this part difficult. Each has its own voice, mannerisms, and emotions. Field researched the disease, worked with a dialect coach, and observed psychiatric patients for 6 months to prepare. Knowing it was her moment to show herself as an actress, she approached the part seriously. Sybil was filmed intensively. 12 weeks. 16-hour days are common for Field. Reenacting a terrible memory of Sybil bound to a table was distressing. The scenario was so physically taxing that Field dislocated her shoulder but finished the take. To provide her best, she gave her all. Sybil's November 1976 NBC debut was a hit. Nearly half the U.S. population, 92 million, watched it. Critics called Field's performance groundbreaking. In her impassioned acceptance speech for her first Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress, she said, "Sybil transformed Field's career forever. She went from a light TV actress to a significant talent." After being cast in Smokey and the Bandit in 1977, Sally Field's career took a surprise turn. Before this, Sally was best known for Gidget and The Flying Nun. This actress wasn't known for action films. Already famous Burt Reynolds suggested her play the role. At first, the studio disagreed. A glamorous actress was desired. She was great for the position, Burt assured them. Georgia filming began May 23, 1977. Small budget, $4.3 million, severe summer heat. Regularly over 35 degrees Celsius. Car chases were extremely challenging to film. Was 41 and at the height of his career, whereas Sally, 30, wanted to prove herself in movies in place of TV. Burt loved pranking everyone, so the set was joyful and humorous despite the challenges. The movie opened on May 27, 1977, and grossed over $126 million, surprising everyone. 2 sequels followed its success. This breakthrough helped Sally transition from TV to movies. It also started a strong personal bond for Burt and Sally. From the outset, Sally and Burt had chemistry. Their bond was immediate, Sally said in her memoir In Pieces. She stated that they had known each other for 3 or 4 days, but it seemed like 4 years. It helped the film succeed that their initial bond made their characters' relationship feel true on screen. The attraction turned into a romance rapidly. Charm and confidence attracted Sally to Burt. Burt, 11 years older than Sally, was handsome and charming. The crew noted their close bond between takes as they spent time together. Burt's co-star Jerry Reed claimed you could cut the tension with a knife. Like seeing 2 teens in love. Even though their relationship began with enthusiasm, difficulties arose early. Burt struggled when Sally gained attention since he was used to being the center. Burt was irritated when people wanted Sally's autograph more than his at a movie event. This was just a taste of their relationship's troubles. Sally said it was passionate, complicated, and hard. Despite many issues, she felt there was love and caring. Burt's control, a major issue. From the time I entered, it controlled me, she writes in her story. Burt wanted to control her professional and personal life, which produced stress. Sally Field's 1979 role in Norma Rae transformed her life. She wasn't originally intended for the role. Big names like Jane Fonda were discussed. Sally took the chance and did her best. For weeks, she worked in an Alabama textile factory to prepare. What life was like for working-class women interested her. She was fearless on set. She even did her own stunts, including standing on a table with a Union sign. After filming that scene in a noisy, hot mill, Sally had to repeat it until it was perfect. The movie made $22 million, which was big back then. Sally's performance was lauded. She created a realistically tough but vulnerable figure. Sally earned her first Oscar for Best Actress in 1980 after winning several major accolades. She acknowledged the movie's director and the character's inspiration during her address. Everyone knew Sally was more than a TV sensation after this moment. She could play dramatic roles. French Film Festival can screen Norma Rae that year. Nervous and excited, Sally. She was unaccustomed to Francis Ford Coppola, who directed Apocalypse Now. Sally made some humorous blunders, like bringing the wrong clothes for cool weather. She kept toasty with her hotel blanket. When her festival film screened, Sally was frightened. After the movie, there was silence, and she believed the audience despised it. They then stood and clapped for 10 minutes. Inundated, Sally. The Cannes Best Actress Award followed a few days later. It was a tremendous occasion showcasing her talent. Her relationship with Burt Reynolds faltered as her fame grew. After dating since 1976, Burt wasn't delighted with Sally's success. Although he first supported her, he got jealous as she won accolades and gained prominence. He insulted her by suggesting she wouldn't win at Cannes. As her honors increased, Burt's behavior worsened. He sulked or said unpleasant things, and Sally felt their connection weakening. Before the 1980 Oscars, things grew worse. Burt declined Sally's Best Actress nomination. He even told a magazine that Hollywood didn't value actual acting, a swipe at her. Sally persevered despite her injuries. Her friends David and Judy Steinberg offered to drive her to the event. They picked her up in a champagne-filled limo, making the night fun. Sally smiled on the red carpet and told reporters Burt had a commitment. Sally got the Oscar that night. She thanked her movie collaborators on stage with joy. Burt wasn't mentioned. He left, showing how their relationship altered. Things never went the same after 2 more years together. Her success had created an unbridgeable distance between them. In 1984, Sally Field won her second Oscar for Places in the Heart, enhancing her career. This was 5 years after her 1979 Oscar for Norma Ray. It showed she was a Hollywood top actress. Sally played 1935 Texas widow Edna Spaulding, who struggled to keep her farm and support her family during the Great Depression. Sally initially declined the assignment. She rejected it 3 times because it resembled her Norma Ray character. But director Robert Benton persisted. He spent hours convincing her to play the role at her residence. Living in Texas with relatives prepared Sally. She picked cotton, milked cows, and killed chickens. Everyone praised her performance after her hard work. Also notable was her Oscar speech. "I can't deny you like me now," Sally remarked. "You like me. People often misquote it as you truly like me." She responded to critics who called her first Oscar win luck with this line. The event is still remembered. Then, Sally proved she could play any part. In 1989 and 1993, she starred in Steel Magnolias and Mrs. Doubtfire, 2 different films. She played Shelby's mother Malin in Steel Magnolias. Many consider her burial scene one of her greatest on screen. Starring Dolly Parton and Julia Roberts, the film was a hit. Strangely, Sally wasn't the first candidate for the position. After being offered it first, Meg Ryan and Deborah Winger declined. Sally and Robin Williams starred in Mrs. Doubtfire, a comedy about a parent posing as a babysitter to see his kids. Miranda, Sally, was mother. She first declined since Robin's humor would overpower her. She agreed after the director promised to improvise. Accidental comedy in the film. Robin's phony nose clung to her shoe after she walked on it. Over $441 million was made on the film. As Sally aged, she played mature parts. She played Mrs. Gump, Tom Hanks' mother, in 1994's Forrest Gump. With makeup and costumes, Sally, who was 10 years older than Tom, was convincing. Aging her for scenes took hours in makeup. Her acting earned her a Screen Actors Guild Award nomination. Natalie Portman and Sally appeared in Where the Heart Is in 2000. In this film, Sally played motherly roles for younger actors. Behind the scenes, she mentored Natalie on Fame. Sally's 2002 Broadway debut astonished everyone. Starred in Who Was Sylvia? A disturbing play. People adored her act. She showed she could do more than movies and TV. In the 2000s, Sally kept going. Brothers and Sisters made Sally Field famous again as Nora Walker. Betty Buckley played Nora until September 24, 2006, when the show premiered. In need of a change, the producers cast Sally. Very good pick. She brought Nora to life, making people love her. The widow Nora discovered her husband was cheating. She also dealt with her adult children's issues. Sally showed her talent in the 5-season, 109-episode drama, making Nora's story of grief, self-discovery, and progress feel authentic. Her 2007 performance earned Sally an Emmy. On September 16, during the 59th Primetime Emmys, Her Emmy win for Sybil was special because it had been 30 years. Her speech made it much more renowned. "If mothers governed the world, there would be no goddamn wars," she said. Fox, the show's network, dropped her after God and stopped talking. This sparked a debate over free speech and political statements at award events. In 2012, Sally played Mary Todd Lincoln in Lincoln, another career highlight. It was hard to get this job. Her casting was considered by Steven Spielberg in 2005. However, the film changed significantly. Sally studied Mary Todd Lincoln's life and gained 25 pounds to look like her. Spielberg let her audition and she performed alongside Tommy Lee Jones, who was in the film. The major moment was meeting Day-Lewis in character. They played Abraham and Mary Todd Lincoln for hours. Day-Lewis and Spielberg agreed she was suited for the role. Sally portrayed Mary Todd in Lincoln as an educated, sophisticated woman in emotional pain. Mary supported her husband during the Civil War while grieving her children. Sally was lauded for her performance in the November 9, 2012 film. Award nominations included the Academy Award and Golden Globe. People thought this was one of her best roles, even if she lost. Sally received particular recognition in 2023. One of the oldest and most esteemed U.S. institutions, the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, inducted her. Sally Field recently revealed stunning Smokey and the Bandit information. In a 2022 interview, she called her Burt Reynolds kiss the worst. "It wasn't his forte," she said. Even joked about drooling. This surprised viewers because their on-screen chemistry was amazing. Field initially disliked the film. In 2018, she said the writing was horrible. Though the material wasn't terrific, Burt Reynolds got her to join by stating they could make it work through improvisation. This represents much of the film's appeal. The script wasn't their inspiration on set. Funny why Reynolds wanted Field in the film. Gidget's old sitcom stated he loved her. Field was like, "Gidget, really? Why does he want me?" Though random, it worked. U.S. revenues for Smokey and the Bandit reached $126 million. 2 sequels followed. It became a fave of the 1970s. Though the movie was lighthearted, Reynolds' relationship was more difficult. Field stated their bond was quick and intense in her story. Due to their rapid bond, the first 4 days on site felt like 4 years. The situation wasn't ideal. Field, 30, spotted Reynolds, 41, using a lot of drugs. He took Valium, Percodan, and odd chest injections. Field longed to aid Reynolds. She surreptitiously planned his Miami Heart Institute doctor's visit. Although his health report was good, she advised him to receive stress and anxiety therapy. Reynolds called her efforts self-delusional nonsense. Conflicts plagued their partnership. Regarded as a perfect fault match. Reynolds regretted how he treated Field despite their turbulent relationship. "She's my love," he told Vanity Fair in 2015. "I miss her. Why was I stupid?" Field tragically disclosed that Reynolds and she didn't spoken for 30 years. Besides this, Sally Field married twice. Her high school romance led to her first marriage. In Las Vegas on September 16, 1968, she married Stephen Craig. Stephen was 23 and Sally 21. Hopeful for their future, they honeymooned in Jamaica. However, plans failed. And the marriage was exhilarating and difficult. 2 sons came from their 7-year marriage. Peter and Eli were born November 10, 1969, and May 25, 1972. Both followed their mother into showbiz. Peter's screenplays for Top Gun, Maverick, and The Batman made him renowned. Eli directed Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, a cult comedy. Sally and Stephen's relationship deteriorated despite their parenting successes. Sally subsequently recognized she married Stephen for the wrong reasons. She feared losing him and wanted stability. Stephen leaving Hollywood to become a hippie made things worse. Their son spent time at Sally's Brentwood home and Stephen's commune. They had extremely diverse childhoods. Separation occurred in 1973, but divorce was completed on August 1, 1975. Stephen stayed active with his sons after the divorce. After Peter dropped out of high school, Stephen gave him a grueling Oregon construction job to get him back on track. Their family was difficult but connected. Second marriage for Sally happened years later. Marriage to film producer Alan Grisman occurred on December 15, 1984. After her public romance with Burt Reynolds, Alan appeared stable enough for Sally to start over. Fletch and the Bucket List were his hits. Samuel, born December 2, 1987, was their son. At 41, Sally was thrilled to be a mother again. Writing and directing, Samuel followed his parents' creative footsteps. Although she wanted a long-term marriage, this one had its challenges. "I'm not very good at marriage," Sally remarked, referring to her struggles. Family concerns and hectic occupations undoubtedly kept them apart. Sally and Alan divorced on June 24, 1994, after nearly 10 years. Sally showed bravery and determination by raising Samuel alone while acting. Sally became famous for campaigning after acting. She fiercely supports LGBTQ+ rights after her 19-year-old son Sam came out as gay. Sam awarded Sally and emphasized how much her support meant to him, especially after he came out. Sally championed women's rights and Hollywood gender equality. Her 2007 Emmy address remarked, "If mothers ruled the world, there would be no goddamn wars," demonstrating her courage in defending her beliefs. She kept going. The environment concerns Sally, who joined protests and initiatives. Her struggle against pre-existing condition healthcare cuts got her arrested in 2017.